Hello, hello. Welcome to Taverns and Caverns Season 2. This is the Dungeon Master, HaphazardDM, and welcome back to all of our listeners that stuck with us through Season 1. And for any of you that are brand new to the show, welcome to the show. We have a fun and exciting cast of characters and a brand new story that is still canon to the overall plot. However, the story for Season 2 is taking place on a separate continent known as Ashae. And for those listeners that listened to parts of Season 1, you all will know that there were two characters that came from the continent of Ashae, which was Yaito of Earth Sky and Eska, the Sorceress of Aloria. But before we dig deeper into what's to come for the season, I want to go ahead and introduce all of our lovely players that are returning with us from Season 1. And we also have a brand new player that is replacing one of our prior players. But we're going to go ahead and introduce everyone. For those that don't know, again, I'm Ryan, or HaphazardDM, and I'm going to be the Dungeon Master for this season of Taverns and Caverns. But we're going to go ahead and do a roundtable. Everyone is going to describe and talk about the characters that they will be playing for this season, as well as give you their names and a little bit of who they are. But let's go ahead and start with Bri. Welcome back, Bri. How you doing?
Oh, chilling. So, my character I'm playing this time, very different. I don't know if you guys ever listened to the side stories where I played Stella Bogenheim. I am playing his aunt, Stella Bogenheim. She's a bard. She's a gnome. She's 3'2". So, that's taller than some gnomes, She's 225. So, that's what, middle age for a gnome?
Yeah, middle age, yeah.
She's traveled all around Tyrester with her sister, Mariella. And her sister eventually became a legend. But Stella was there the whole time, singing soundtracks, making training montages, offering support. Where's my credit? My name is coming up in none of these folktales. And so she's ready to get out of her sister's shadow, create her own legend, her own lore. And her ultimate dream is to become the headliner of a traveling music act and basically rub her sister's face in it. But to do that, she's got to kick some ass. So she's draped in, I wouldn't say fine clothes per se, although she's come into quite a bit of money in her time. She's not great with it. She loves to buy instruments, almost kind of buy her audiences by getting them drunk in bars, and that ain't cheap. But when people are drunk, they tend to really listen to what you have to say in all of your songs. So anyway, she has an array of different color fabrics that are draped over her, loose fitting, almost like think of one of the oversized cardigans, but different parts of it are like a light pink, some are teal, some are yellow. And, all the battles that she's been through, she continues to patch up the same cardigan instead of getting another one. And she does it with whatever material is laying around, but it actually looks freaking sweet. She carries a rapier, she carries a crossbow, and she also has an array of spells that she can cast. She has a dark black pixie cut. I guess I'll tell you the rest later because I can't think of it. Oh, well, she has really big green eyes. She's a pretty, I don't know, I guess you could call her cute, but within her community, she just looks like a modest little old person walking with her nice fabrics, but she's definitely not what you think.
All right, I'm liking the sound of this character, Stella Bogenheim. Are we going to get a little bit of Damien or Desiree in Stella, or is Stella going to be completely different?
I think Damien, that's just part of me coming out. So hopefully I can stay in character and Stella can be an entity of her own and be very different. She's not nearly as cutthroat. Again, she is a people pleaser. She wants friends. She wants to be liked and revered. So she tends to keep her thoughts to herself, unless it comes to her sister or anyone trying to get in the way of her performing. She also cares a lot about the people around her because she is very family oriented. However, and I guess she's similar to Damien in that way, but she's not a dick.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think I'm going to miss Damien and Desiree a little bit. But, that's not the last we'll hear from Cat & Co. from season 1. We will get back to Cat & Co.'s story because there is a lot they still have to accomplish. I am excited to see what you have in store for us with Stella Bogenheim. Well, thank you, Bri, for introducing yourself and your character. Let's go ahead and move on to our next player. Strife Rob.
Rod or Strife?
Strife Robert. Sorry.
All right. My name is
Robert
Jones, and I play a rogue phantom named Houta Liu-bei, who is a black-haired hobgoblin that's 38 with hazel eyes and beige skin. He's 5'9" and weigh 175 pounds. He was born in a family with too many mouths to feed, basically, from Kogu. And he was taught the sword by his father, who was trying to extend the line of samurai. Well, that ended shortly when he turned 14 and said, yeah, you're old enough. So he sent him to be a soldier in Mogatar. And over the course of 24 years, he took bribes from local drug cartels, frequented brothels, pissed away money, gambling.
Jesus, is this Game of Thrones?
And sold weapons to buyers in Shimara.
God damn.
And he worked under a corrupt guy named Maru Stacks, who did everything Houta did, but worse. And when Houta tried to stop his corruption, he sent him on the front line when it was wartime to fight back Kholdar's forces. And he died on the battlefield and woke up 5 or so years later in Corpse Lake. I believe that's what it's called.
Yes, it is. Corpse Lake. That's attached to Crimson River because of all the blood.
Yep. So basically he woke up, looked around, see all these dead people, took some studded leather armor off a dead body and a scimitar from the mud, and made his way to God knows where. He doesn't know how or why he's alive, but he's alive.
Okay.
Hence the rogue phantom.
I like it.
Big me vibes.
Definitely.
I don't know why I'm alive either.
Definitely much different than Nomu as well. I'm liking it.
Yeah, so basically his job for a while until he meets this group is he's been tracking down information from people who try to cheat death and take information with them. So he will track them down.
All right.
You can't escape. You can't escape with information even through death.
And will our new Houta Liu-bei, will he be saying things like, "Where's the milk? Action surge"?
No, this guy's more easygoing. He's just the everyman. He's not good particularly. He's not bad either. He's just a man.
All right, perfect. I'm liking it. I like the fact that we have a hobgoblin. It's not very often that I have players that play as hobgoblins in my campaign, so this is going to be exciting. Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate it.
Yep.
And another returning cast member that we have with us is Felicia. Would you like to give us a little bit of information regarding your character?
I am going to be playing Yome, and she is a cleric. So y'all better be nice if you want some heals.
Oh, God.
She is a shifter, and she has cute little fox ears and a tail. And since she's a cleric, her god is the goddess Yome, which is it's a goddess, right? It's
gods. It's a great animal spirit, so it's a fox. But it's Yome is a female fox.
Okay. So Yome, the great fox spirit of luck and cleverness. So she has been tasked, like her family is a group of basically shrine people who watch over the shrines in the different areas. So currently she is located on Ina Isle. And that means she might have met someone else who is also on Ina Isle. And she's basically been tasked by her god to go out and find something that may help to bring peace back to Ashae, as it's currently in a bit of turmoil.
All right. And are we going to get a little bit of Asundra melty brain magic with this character, or is she going to be completely different?
Melty brain, but she might not be that sane, so we'll see.
Not that. I don't think Asundra was all that sane.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Felicia. And last but not least, and who is the brand new player that will be replacing our old friend Julian from season 1, who played Ediar of House Desone. Rod. We'll just call you Rodimus because I always get Rob and Rod mixed up. So Rodimus, please introduce yourself and the character that you'll be playing for season 2 of Taverns and Caverns.
Don't worry, Rob and Rob get mixed up a lot. Even at work, I hear that all the time. But I am Rodimus, or Rod. I will be playing Roroi Royce. He is a artificer, armorer, blacksmith from Ina Isle as well. He is young, 21. He has studded leather for now, leaving the island after his father, tired of the island's off-put or their neutralness to the situation. He's out there trying to also make a name for himself, hearing tales from his father, which came from Tirister. So he kind of wants to live up to the adventures that he heard as well as a child. He is about 6'3", heavy set. He has a skull cap or
Skull Reaper?
Yeah, or like a like a bandana or whatnot. So you can't tell if he has any hair or not. You see him with goggles all the time, either on his face or up, wearing them up. He also has a mustache, almost Robotnik like.
Robotnik?
Robotnik?
What? Are we gonna be calling you Eggman?
Robotic.
Robotnik, what the hell?
Oh, that's the best way I could describe it.
Robotic, right?
No, Robotnik like.
Oh, straight up Robotnik.
Yeah, as far as his mustache.
Oh.
Now, are we going with the cartoony Robotnik, or are we going with the Jim Carrey Robotnik?
Well, Jim Carrey's is quite cartoony.
That's true.
Well,
that's true.
The kind of in between from the first Robotnik movie to the second. So it's not as bushy and long, but it's getting there.
All right. Sounds good.
So yeah, he's just young, brash, hasn't really seen the world for what it truly is. So kind of have a little naivety to him.
All right, perfect.
So far.
A little bit like Asundra from season 1. So thank you, Rod. And for those that don't know Rodimus, he has been a guest player on some of Taverns and Caverns side stories that we have had. So this isn't his first time with us, but this will be his first time as a main cast member for season 2. But welcome to the group, Rodimus. It's awesome to have you with us. But I hope you all are ready for the exciting tales of Ashae that I have cooked up for every single one of you. And for our listeners, as you heard all of our players go over their characters, a lot of them have some, or I should say most of them have very Asian Eastern themed characters. And that is because on the continent of Ashae, we're going more with an Asian fantasy or Eastern theme with this setting. So I think it's going to be much different than the general fantasy that we had with the continent of Tirister. So this is going to be brand new content, bunch of monsters and areas that are brand new to the world of Reverie that I have not necessarily dove into, other than a couple of the side stories that explain some of the stuff going on. But before we begin our first episode, I do want to go over a quick little background of Ashae for not only our players, to give them a general idea of what's going on, but also for all you lovely listeners to get a little bit of an idea of what is happening on the continent of Ashae. And I know we went over some of that for those that remember Yaito of Earthsky. He briefly mentioned some things that were going on. And for the listeners that have listened to parts of the side stories with Eska, she explains quite a bit of what's going on, which, by the way, those remaining episodes of Eska and her crew and her band of adventurers will be released here fairly soon. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of read off some of the stuff I have written, and we will begin the episode. So really quick, I didn't really, for you guys, I didn't really grammar proof this. So I'm just reading it straight off what I wrote last night. The continent
was
of
late, too,
It
so.
was fucking late. Here we go. The continent of Ashae is currently smothered by war due to an individual by the name of Emperor Baal of Kholdar, who is wanting to expand his nation's territory. The nation of Kholdar used to be peaceful with the other nations of Ashae, but after the death of late Emperor Rudan, Kholdar took a turn towards violence. The other nations of Ashae have bonded together to form an alliance in order to survive Kholdar's onslaught. The nations of Mazugro, Shimara, Oloria, and parts of the Iwatsuni Isles have allied with one another. However, not long after the war began, Kholdar was able to conquer the nation of Oloria. And for those that remember Eska's backstory, that's where she came from, was the nation of Oloria in the continent of Ashae. Oloria is the one nation that is a mixed bag that have not only residents of Ashae, but people that have moved to Ashae from Tirithur. So Oloria is going to be the nation that is going to have most of your Western themed type of setting from Tirithur that is mixed into Ashae. But Ashae is a continent that is watched over by the Omni Kami and the Earthly Sky Dragons. The Omni Kami are the prominent pantheon of Ashae and consist of several great animal spirits, which all represent particular traits and values. So similar to the gods of Tirithur, the Octatic Divines and the Heptatic Evils, the only difference here in Ashae is that the gods of Ashae are all represented by great animal spirits. But also, the Earthly Sky Dragons are almost revered as much as the Omni Kami. However, unlike the great animal spirits, who are considered eternal, the Earthly Sky Dragons are not. They are mortal. It is said that the Earthly Sky Dragons are descendants to many of the dragons who opposed the primordial of destruction, Tiamat herself, during the wars between the gods and the dragon lords. And for what most of you do remember from season 1, we all remember the dragon lord that the Skull Reaver had tapped into a little bit. I know you guys remember that fight. But yeah, Tiamat is the primordial of destruction, who is the complete opposite of the primordial of creation, which is reverie. And again, that is what this world is called, as reverie. So the Ashaean history states that the Omni Kami and the Earthly Sky Dragons allied with one another in order to defeat the Dragon Lord Daimura, whom threatened all of Ashae with its power and its need to destroy. So much like Xandos, the Raging Fire, the Omni Kami had to team up with the Earthly Sky Dragons to defeat Daimura. Unfortunately, the battle against Daimura came at a high price for Ashae. During the battle between Daimura and the Omni Kami, it is said that a tear in time and space was torn within reality itself. Through this tear, a force leaked through, which was powerful enough to corrupt the strongest of minds within the Omni Kami and the dragons themselves. This tear led to a place of unknown, a void of uncertainty and corruption. The leaked force had a mind of its own and was sentient in its own way. This powerful being came to be known as Moritai of the Void. Moritai is a godly being who corrupts any and all who are unfortunate enough to come across its power. The Omni Kami and the dragons could not defeat Moritai despite their collective efforts. And to this day, the Omni Kami and the Earthly Sky Dragons make it their duty to push back Moritai's advances whenever possible. However, with the sacrifice of many Earthly Sky Dragons, the Omni Kami were eventually able to seal the tear that led into the void, weakening Moritai's corruption for a time. However, Moritai's corruption continues to linger throughout Ashae to this day. The Omni Kami have reduced Moritai's advances throughout history. However, in recent times, Moritai's corruption has seemingly increased for who knows what reason. The corruption affects any animal or mortal that it comes across. An animal or person taken by Moritai's corruption transforms into a demonic-like version of themselves with the sole purpose of devouring and corrupting all that is around them. These evil spirit / demon-like beasts are known as Yaksha. That is going to be a term that we use frequently during season 2, is Yaksha. So examples of Yaksha, which we've gotten in some of our side stories, are, for example, the Oni. The Oni is a monster in D&D, and as well it is a Japanese lord creature or monster But in the world of Ashae, or the Reverie on the land of Ashae, the Oni are basically just ogres of Ashae that have been corrupted by the power of Moritai. And another primary example of a Yaksha that has increased in power and intelligence are the Rakshasha, which are corrupted tigers and or tiger shifters that have been taken by Moritai's corruption. And for those that know Rakshasas, there are some evil fucking demonic tiger beings in the world of D&D. I know, Robert, you know what the Rakshasa are.
I don't want to deal with that.
But the Rakshasa are one of the Moritai's most powerful creations and were created as an insult to Nimwa, the great tiger spirit of the Omnikami. So the Rakshasa are going to play a major role as well when it comes to the faction of the Yaksha. To this day, the Yaksha have continued to ravage parts of Ashae, taking advantage of the war between the nations to infiltrate and devour the unfortunate ones who are too weak to defend themselves. And that is where our lovely cast of players are going to come in, because despite the war that ravages Ashae, each nation has had to rely on others, such as adventurers, townsfolk, and those who aren't soldiers, or anyone that is brave enough to help cleanse the corruption and to keep it from spreading all throughout Ashae. And despite knowing the dangers of the Yaksha and Moritai's corruption, Emperor Baal continues to lead Kholdar into a senseless war for his own hidden agenda. Now, I know what the hidden agenda is, and maybe that will spill out as we go through the story of Season 2. You guys will definitely learn more about Emperor Baal in the coming future. However, with each nation providing a few soldiers to help against the corruption when possible, the threat of Kholdar looms heavily over their shoulders. The Alliance has formed a specialized task force known as the Purifiers, or I should say not the Purifiers, but the Ashaean Guard, which is made up of those brave enough and willing to combat the Yaksha. The sole purpose of the Ashaean Guard is to cleanse Ashae of the Yaksha and all of Moritai's corruption, destroying evil where it stands and protecting all that it threatens. So, one more paragraph, I promise. So the Omnikami have also been known to bless specific groups of people within or with their power. So this is going to be slightly different for those that listen to Season 1. I did not use the term Warforged for the race of Warforged from D&D, but instead of Warforged, I changed it to the Revenant. It's going to be much exactly the same with the shifters of Ashae. They're going to be labeled as a different name versus shifter, which is what they're called in Tirister. But you're about to find out why shifters are called something different here. But it is because the Omnikami have blessed specific groups of people with these powers, and that is what led to the creation of the Yeki. Yeki is a race in Ashae that are considered to be blessed by the great animal spirits, and they gain the physical characteristics and traits to the animal spirit which blessed them. And because of this, the Yeki are mostly seen as divine and are well respected throughout the continent. Yeki that are caught performing any evil-like deeds are also quickly shunned and labeled as corrupted traitors to the general public of Ashae. So the Yeki can be found in all nations of Ashae and are mostly known to share the characteristics from the great animal spirits that form the Omnikami. Now, the Omnikami is comprised of 7 great animal spirits. That is Fias, who is the great deer spirit of kindness and grace; Raicho, the great crane spirit of harmony and beauty; Tioga, the great turtle spirit of protection and tranquility; Nimwa, the great tiger spirit of strength and cuttingness; Obak, the great elephant spirit of wisdom and loyalty; Jihi, the great monkey spirit of adventure of joy; and then, last but not least, Yome, the great fox spirit of luck. Felicia's character Yome follows.
What is the Nimwa again?
Nimwa is the great tiger spirit
of
strength and cunningness, and that is where Moritai shunned Nimwa by making the Rakshasa, which are basically evil tiger corrupted versions of Nimwa. So Nimwa is going to be widely known all throughout Ashae as like the great animal spirit of strength, because Nimwa is a tiger and he will fuck shit up. But that, however, does not mean that the Yeki are limited to the Omnikami spirits, for there are several lesser animal spirits that may also choose to bless people. So by that means, doesn't mean that those great animal spirits are the only quote unquote Yeki / shifters you'll see, you might probably see a Yeki who has maybe like a rabbit or something tied to them or something else. So there are definitely lesser animal spirits, but they are not part of the Omnicom. But with that crammed knowledge that I just forced you guys to eat in your brains, let's go ahead and start the very first episode of Taverns and Caverns Season 2. I hope you guys are excited. Do any of you have questions regarding any of that information I just threw over you guys?
Not yet.
All right, cool. All right, so with that being the case, I know all of you guys' backstories, and a lot of you just shared all of that as well with our listeners. However, we're going to be starting episode 1 in a port town in the nation of Shimara, which is the southeastern nation of Ashae. There are 4 main nations that comprise the mainlands of Ashae. You have Kholdar, which is to the northwest, Aloria to the southwest. Then you have Mazugro, which is to the northeast, and Shimara to the southeast. So our journey begins in a small port town known as Kizawa, which is located to the very south area or portion of Shimara, and it is along the Kasuda Bay. Many people that travel from Tirister or the Iwatsuni Isles, which the Iwatsuni Isles are located to the west, more like southwest of the mainlands of Ashae. Many of the individuals that travel to Ashae will come through the Iwatsuni Isles and then into either Kholdar, Aloria, or Shimara. However, due to the recent war that has taken place, and this war has been going on for many years now, most people do not go to Kholdar due to the threatening presence that the Kholdarians impose on its people and to travelers that do not benefit them. So many people travel straight to Shimara now because, as I mentioned, Aloria has been conquered by Kholdar. Now, Kholdar soldiers have infiltrated Aloria and have taken over, but that doesn't mean Aloria is completely lost. There are obviously going to be Alorian militia and soldiers who attempt to fight back their aggressors to take back their country, obviously. However, for the most part, Aloria is considered unsafe to many travelers, which is why we'll be starting our story in the small port town of Kizawa. So, given the fact that Ina Island is one of the 8 islands that comprise the Iwatsuni Isles, we have 2 characters, Yome and Roroi Royce, who are coming from actually the same island, Ina Isle, as well as Stella Bogenheim, who is from Tirister, as Bry told us. And with Stella traveling to Ashae, she would have most likely stopped in on one of the islands at the Iwatsuni Isles and then traveled from there to Shimara due to the current situation that's going on. But with the 3 of you traveling to the mainland of Ashae, I'm going to go ahead and say that you all arrived in the port town of Kizawa, and you have been hanging around town, learning about the current situation and what's going on for the last couple of days. You've been there long enough to get a general idea of what's going on and to plan your next actions. Now, unlike those 3, Houta Liu-bei, Robert's character, comes from Mazugro, the nation to the north of Shimara, and he is doing his own thing. And we're just going to say that Houta has found his way to this port town as well, for whatever reason Robert wants to say. He's a traveling phantom. So whatever reason he's got, that's the reason he's got. But while all 4 of you have been in Kizawa and near the outskirts of Kizawa, you all have gained some knowledge recently that the current lord that oversees Kizawa is governed by Lord Oshiro. He is not only the lord of the port town Kizawa, he is also the commanding officer who has been in charge of overseeing the war efforts on the western front of Shimara going into Aloria. With Aloria being conquered, we have Kholdarian soldiers who have now began attacking Shimara from the west. So Lord Oshiro, being loved by his people and being loyal to the alliance, has been tasked to not only oversee the war efforts of the soldiers on the west side of the nation, but he is also tasked with protecting his people and the people of Shimada that are near his territory. Now, with that being the case, you all know about the Yaksha at this point in time. Houta, Yome, and Roroi, you all understand the Yaksha. You understand Moritai. Now, as far as Stella Bogenheim goes, I would say, Stella, you have learned a great deal of what the Yaksha are during your last couple of days or months, however long your character has been here. You have gained that knowledge, so it's fairly common knowledge to you. But due to the war efforts, as I mentioned, the Yaksha have been much more frequently showing their faces and have been dangerous to the people of Shimada, because obviously many of the soldiers are out on the front lines doing battle against Kholdar, leaving very few manpower to protect its own people from the Yaksha. So you all hear of a request. Lord Oshiro has requested nearby adventurers, townspeople, whoever, to come to his residence in order to become a purifier for the Ashaean guard. And what you all see and have heard of there are pamphlets, flyers of information for those that want a name for them, to make a name for themselves, for those that want to make money, those that want to travel, or for those that need a specific purpose for their lives. Lord Oshiro has invited those to his residence to become a Ashaean guard, a purifier for the guard. And whatever reason your characters come to this event, that is for you to say. It's whatever you guys want. So we're going to go ahead and start this session, though, with everyone. You are all standing. It is midday. And you are all standing within the walls and the gates of Lord Oshiro's, I don't want to say castle, but his massive home that is well guarded by several samurai and others. And while standing in this courtyard, you can see the beautiful sakura blossoms all around you. The courtyard is beautiful, but you were standing there with many other individuals around you. You are not alone. It's not just the four of you. There are several people there with you, whether they be townspeople from Kizawa or other adventurers. You see an ogre who is standing there in the back with this giant great club over his shoulder, and he's just scratching the side of his gut as he's looking around. You see goblins walking around talking amongst one another, and orcs, and you see a couple of dwarves. Actually, there are a few dwarves here along, standing there with you in this courtyard. But as all of you and all of the other adventurers finish walking into the courtyard, the giant gates that lead into this residence in this courtyard, they slowly shut, and you all see these Shimaran soldiers. They look very samurai-like, and the nation of Shimada is very, I went for a Japanese themed aesthetic with the nation of Shimada. You can see the samurai standing guard, and as the doors to the gates behind you shut, you hear this horn blow and drums begin to play. And stepping out of the giant home or mansion in front of you is Lord Oshiro himself, and he steps out with his armor on him and his katana to his side. But alongside of Lord Oshiro, there is a monk that also steps out alongside of him by the name of Soga. And as all of you are standing there in this courtyard, as Lord Oshiro steps out, you hear these drums playing. You hear one of the soldiers, he just yells out, "Lord Oshiro stands before you, fall in line." And as you hear that, what are all of you thinking or doing as you're seeing this?
Stella is looking around to see if people are actually going to listen to him. And if they do, she does.
To being a previous soldier, he looks around and immediately stands in attention.
Okay. And what is Roy and Yome doing? You can see the ogre. The ogre steps forward, and the goblins and the orcs nearby also, they fall in line as well. They seem to be fairly well, I don't want to say trained, but disciplined.
Yome sort of shifts. She was looking pretty bored, and now she shifts and sits up straight
Looking
and
bored.
is paying attention. She knows she's supposed to like be a little bit more on point, but she's not quite good at it.
Okay.
Yes. Stella turns at the very last minute, like with everyone looking back and forth to make sure she's doing it correctly.
Roroi was tinkering with his gauntlets until he heard Lord, and he stands up in attention as well, knowing that he needs to show respect.
So as you all see the others begin to, stand in line to begin to pay their respects to Lord Oshiro, you can see this man known as Oshiro steps forward to face all of you, along with this monk at his side. You can see this monk has this long quarterstaff that he's using to walk, and around his neck he has these large monk beads, as he also has these beads around his wrist as he's holding them in his hands. And he just looks at you. The monk looks at you as Lord Oshiro steps forward. And as he does, he speaks out, "Welcome to my domain, adventurers. I am Lord Oshiro, the lord of this area and the commander of the war front that is taking place along the borders of Shimara and Aloria. I welcome you to my invitation to join the Ashaean Guard." And as he says this, he steps forward again, and he begins to pace himself as if he's walking down the line that you all just formed. And he has his arms folded as he is looking into your eyes, every single one of you, as if he's studying your movements. He's just paying attention to see how your movements are and to see how you guys react, and to study every single one of you. But as he's doing so, he goes, "As you all know, Ashae has been corrupted by the god of the void, Moritai, forming what is known as the Yaksha. Due to the war with Kholdar, Shimara has not, or does not have, the manpower to protect many of its residents and the people from the evil Yaksha. That is where the Ashaean Guard come into play. You all are here because you saw the pamphlets or the information, or you've heard word that you can become an Ashaean Guard, a purifier if they will. The duty of the Ashaean Guard are to purify all of the Yaksha that threaten our lovely domain. You are here to find purpose. You are here to seek glory. You are here to defend your brethren from the corruption of Moritai. The job and duty of a purifier is not one that pays well. So for those that are here strictly for the money, you're here for the wrong reasons. Those that fight the Yaksha die every day. Those that are here must be brave in heart and in mind. This is not a job for those that are here just to make ends meet. And he's looking over you as he's trying to see those that might have a shift in their expressions regarding the pay not being very well. However, those that require a purpose to save and to protect their brethren and the homeland from Moritai itself have come to the right place. With that being said, all of you here have shown interest in becoming a purifier. Those that are not brave enough and those that are here for the money alone will not make it out. A purifier dies every hour, every day. Those that are here, you must recognize that. And as he's looking around, he looks down at one of the goblins. One of the goblins is sweating a little bit as Oshiro stands over the goblin. He looks down at the goblin. "You are sweating. Are you nervous?" And the goblin looks up. "I was thinking we'd make some decent money here." "There is no money to be made here as a purifier. All of the money goes towards the war efforts and to feed the people of the Alliance. If you're here for the money, leave." And the goblin, he just looks at the rest of you and the others. I'm not here for that. I want to make money. I'm not here to risk my life without the pay. And you can see the goblin turns around and he begins to walk away from everyone. You can see the gates slowly open as the guards escort the goblin out. And Oshiro just looks up at everyone else. Good. I don't want anyone like that in our forces anyways. Anyone else wish to leave while you still can?
Houta shake his head. No, he ain't gonna say nothing though.
he ain't gonna say nothing.
He's used to this, man. He shouldn't be anymore, but when you've been a soldier for over 24 years, he's kind of gotten adapted to that life.
Of course.
Not getting paid.
He's used to that.
Well, there is pay. It's just not much. It's not a career most people would want.
Buys the cheapest meal.
It's cheapest meal. But as Oshiro looks at the goblin that begins to walk away, he looks over at he notices Stella, because Stella is a gnome. And for Ashae, the races that currently live in Ashae, they are, diverse, but gnomes are not common in Ashae. Gnomes are more of a race that come from Tirister. So Oshiro definitely notices Stella, and he begins to walk towards Stella's way. And he looks down at Stella since he towers over. He's about 6'2". You, what is your name?
She looks to her left, to her right, and the top of her head is almost touching the middle of her back. She's really trying to get up and see who this is, but she's not intimidated. Just making sure you were talking to me. Stella Bogenheim, sir.
Stella Bogenheim.
Mm-hmm.
That is a name that sounds like it comes from the land of Tirister. Tell me, Stella Bogenheim, what brings you here to Ashae, my home nation of Shimada? Or are you from Ashae, my friend?
Feeling a little singled out here. I'm honestly here to prove myself.
Here to prove yourself. Very good. I am not singling you out by any means, but it is very rare for us to see gnomes come through our land. And the job that you are here to partake in is not one that is to be taken lightly, my friend. I just want to make sure that you have an understanding, if you are from Tirister, that this is not a job for the lighthearted. But if you are here to fight off the threat of the Yaksha and to make a name for yourself, then perhaps you are here in the right place. I just want to make sure you understand that, Stella Bogenheim. Are we clear?
Oh, absolutely. You've never, ever met anyone like me. I promise you that.
Very good. Well, if you are willing to fight and defend the people of Ashae from Moritai itself, then you are welcome amongst our ranks. And he begins to walk again, and he's looking around the crowd, and he notices Houta Liu-bei, because Houta also mentions or stated a comment as well. And he looks at the hobgoblin.
He stiffens.
He walks over to Houta, and he stands in front of Houta. Although Houta's used to this, he's still looking at the commanding officer of the Shimaran Alliance for this section of Shimada. And Lord Osha just looks at him. You, why are you here? Why would you take up the name with a title of a purifier? Why would you join the Ashaean Guard? Tell me.
Well, to be honest, my lord, not many people are looking for information trackers nowadays. So I'm looking to scrape up some new work, if you would, my lord.
Some new work, you say. Interesting. And you have experience with combat, my friend.
I've been trained in the sword by my father, if it please you.
As he looks over Houta, he looks at the rest of you all as well. Remember, This is a fight for your life. This is not some mere bandits or thieves attacking your village back home. No, this is the Yaksha. They are demons, evil spirits that corrupt anything it touches. You will be fighting for your life from this day forward. If you do not have experience, you will be gaining it very soon. Believe me in that. And he looks over and he spots Yome, who is the only Yeki in the crowd at this moment.
She's currently, her eyes are closed and she's got like one eyebrow up and she's getting a little irritated and she has her fingers out and she's like poking them together.
He walks over towards Yome. Is Yome dressed like a shrine maiden, you said?
Yeah, so I think what I want to do with her clothing, because I can't decide yet, is like sort of like long, like a longish skirt. I haven't decided if it's going to be red and white like a traditional shrine maiden or not, but and then like some armor on the side and around her waist.
Okay.
With like a wrap top, like a
Right.
like kimono top.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I was gonna ask because of Oshiro's
Okay.
comment. He looks at Yome as he walks up to her. Yeki, you look like you come from one of the shrines. Where are you from?
Well, shoot, that's not really my name, but I follow Tiomi.
Ah, a Yeki of the great fox spirit Tiomi. We are welcome to have a Yeki such as yourself amongst our ranks. But tell me, do you have combat experience, young one?
Well, I can definitely hit stuff. And if you ask real nice, I could probably heal you a little bit if you get hurt.
A healer. A healer will be well in our ranks. Healers are always needed. For purifiers see death on a daily basis. And he looks around again. And he notices Roroi Royce. What is Roroi Royce doing at this current moment?
His eyes are kind of shifting around. It's a bit nervous. Trying to keep quiet, trying to stay still, but he's kind of fidgeting a little bit.
Yome hits him on his shoulder, and she goes, "Heck, you're from Ina Island too, right?"
Stella stops
yes, I am.
mid-chew in her potato chips. When she hears that, and looks down the line. She's heard of that.
Oh.
Well, that's where she hears that her sister, whose shadow she's in, has traveled for her next journey.
Oh. Well, I don't know about that, but
yeah, that was just an observation.
okay. Yome smacks Roroi and she says, "Well, he's gonna for sure help out. He's a real nice guy."
Oshiro looks over at Roroi.
I just voluntold you.
And he has this smile on his face. Ah, both of you from Ina Island, from the Iwatsuni Isles. Ina Island is an island that is neutral in this war. Tell me, why have both of you come? And are you prepared to see the devastation of the war as well as the Yaksha here on the mainlands? It surprises me that the Ina clan stays neutral despite being from Shimara themselves. Tell me, why are you both here?
Yome scoots in front of Roroi just a little bit, so you just see her instead of Roroi. Sorry, Brad. And she's like, well, Tiomi sent me out to look for, something that could help. It's been pretty crazy out there, and she's really getting sick of it. So,
the Omnikami have spoken to you themselves and have sent you here. If you follow the great fox spirit, Tiomi, then I do not have any questions for you. However, he looks over at Roroi. You, my friend, answer the question. Members from Ina Isle are neutral in the war, and it strikes me as irritating that those that are from Shimara would stay and remain neutral despite Kholdar's push against the alliance. Why are you here? And he just stares at Roroi with this intimidating presence.
He cowers just a little bit, but trying to hide it. Well, Well, my lord, I also agree. So did my father. Also, I am here to field test some armor, trying to help out whatever way I can, my lord.
He looks over the. Are you currently wearing your armor?
No.
Okay. Well, he looks over you one last moment, and he takes in what you just said. Your armor, equipment, you say? What are you? A blacksmith?
Why, yes. Roroi Royce, royal. He just kind of stammers a little bit. He's still intimidated. But my shop is one of the finest in Ina Island, sir.
You have your own shop.
Yes, my lord.
I hope you know the battlefield is nowhere for those. It is no place for those that have not had combat experience. Do you have combat experience, blacksmith?
He's lying when he says this. Yes, sir. I have.
Make me a roll for that. A deception or.
Alrighty.
He knew this was coming.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
no.
All right. So
A
go ahead and say what you're about to say.
First roll of season 2.
That's a 9.
A 9.
Yes, sir. I had plenty of common experiences. He points to what looks like a stealth sword, but it's really a boketed, and he kind of taps it. And I'm very fine with the blade, sir, my lord. Yeah.
He looks at you, and he can see that you're sweating. And I'm gonna make a roll. All right. He raises an eyebrow at you. What was your name again?
Roroi Royce, my lord.
Roroi Royce. He leans forward. I have no place in my ranks, nor does Soga, the monk back there over my shoulder. We have no places for liars here in the Ashaean Guard.
Can I try to persuade him?
Yeah.
Persuade or deception?
That would be either. Well, you can do either way. Are you trying to deceive him, or are you trying to persuade him that he has experience?
I mean, it's probably still me lying, but I was going to persuade him to take him.
Do a deception then, if you're straight up lying. Okay, you rolled natural 20 for a 21.
I'm very, very charismatic.
All right, so
All right.
What do you say?
I slap Roy again. I'm like, well, heck, sir, don't worry about that. I've seen him fight plenty of times. I told you we're from the same island. One time, I saw him fight it. We're fighting. What is it, Yaksha?
Yaksha.
One time, I saw him take out a Yaksha on his own. Can you believe that?
Oh, absolutely not. I myself have faced a Yaksha, and I gotta say, it took 10 of us.
I don't think anyone was talking to you anyway. Listen, I'm telling you, this guy can fight. He can make weapons, and he can use them. It's pretty sweet.
I see then. Follower of Yome, then you wouldn't mind if you are teamed up with Roy then against the Yaksha?
Of course not.
Very well. His life is in your hands.
As long as he says please.
Pretty please.
We love to hear that.
Ooh,
This is the last warning I shall give every single one of you. If you feel like it is not in your hearts, or if you feel that giving your life away for the cause is not something you wish to do, then I will say step back and turn now. This is the last opportunity you will have to do so. For those that join the Ashaean God and become a purifier, once you are a purifier, you are always a purifier. You will not taint the name and the title of the Ashaean God. If we are to catch any single one of you doing any vile deeds that is against the Ashaean God's code, you shall be hunted down and executed where you stand.
Damn.
Even followers of the Omnikami, to take the title of a purifier, to join the Ashaean God, is the truest that one can do here in Ashae. if we catch you stealing, looting, pillaging, using the title for your own benefit, you shall be hunted as if you were Yaksha yourselves. Understand that.
Good thing we didn't bring Damien.
Yes, my lord.
I'm definitely here for my own gain, but I'll be long gone by the time he figures that out.
Waiting for anyone else to possibly walk away, he notices that everyone else seems to stay. And with that, the gates slowly begin to close. And as that happens, Lord Oshiro, he nods. Good. It is an honor to take the position of Ashae guard, to become a purifier for Ashae. And with the title comes the badge. He looks over his shoulder. Soga, if you would. This is an Ashaean or a Shimaran monk by the name of Soga.
Soga these nuts.
He will be administering the badges that each of you will receive. And he takes a step back as the monk steps forward, and the bald monk, middle-aged, he steps forward and he's going to start going down the line. And you can see he begins to reach into his robes and he pulls out these badges. They're very thin paper-like badges that you all will have access to. You all will be given an individual badge. And he begins to hand these badges out. And as he does so, you can see he has these prayer beads in his hands as he looks like he is chanting some words. Each time he provides someone in the line a badge, he chants, and you can see magic aura coming from his hand as if he's imbuing something to these badges. And Soga speaks out, what I am doing, I am encrypting a magic that will keep these badges strictly to you. These badges are not to be traded or not to be given away. The magic that I have imbued in these will be tying you to your badge specifically. It is proof that you are a purifier of the Ashae god. Whenever your title is in question, show this badge to prove yourselves. No one will be able to take the badge from you due to the magics. The only time someone can take the badge from you is if you are to die. However, after your death, the badge too will burn into ashes a few hours afterwards. And as he's giving you these badges, it's basically like to prove yourselves that you are a purifier. It's like having a badge if you were a cop, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives each and every single one of you a badge as well. And as he's doing so, he's asking for your names. And on the badge, he's also using the magic to inscribe your name to this badge. Think of it as like your Adventurers Guild passport or whatever badge that we gave you in season 1.
Yome is super fucking pumped. She is like, yeah, she's a middle child, so she has problems.
Does it have like our picture on it or names?
It does not have picture, it just has your names.
Okay.
The proof that it is your badge is that no one can take it from you. It is basically enchanted to you and only you.
Okay.
Roroi is going to ask, can we customize these?
Soga looks over at Roroi. What do you mean, customize?
I mean, I would like to have my craft symbol on the badge if that's okay.
You may do whatever you want to do with your badges.
Sweet.
Just keep in mind that these are your badges for the rest of time. Treat them well, and they are your proof to get into certain areas that only the Ashae guard may have access to. When questioned, show the badge. It will light up when you go to show it as proof that you are indeed the owner of the badge.
Honestly, don't you hand these out kind of easy? Don't you want us to work for it a little bit?
Oh, trust me. Your first mission against the Yaksha is tomorrow. You'll be working for it indeed. And he smiles at Yome.
It's kind of weird.
Stella's in line moving around. It's official like a whistle. I'm a purifier, A. I am not a liar, A. Can't wait to rub this shit in my sister's face. So like, like we could just flash this. Like boom, it's us. Me and my fires.
Soga looks over at Stella.
Made by fires.
Of course you can flash it to show that you are of the Ashae God, to show that you are a purifier of Ashae. But remember what Lord Oshiro said. Do not use this title in any ill way, for we do not condone evil.
Oh, no, it's not evil. It's comeuppance.
I say, what's evil? Like, you know, if you want like a hotel room, maybe you want a better one. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that evil?
That is bribery, and
that's not that's not.
Right, I can't bring my best to the fight if I'm, I don't know, sleeping on the floor.
Bribery. That is, I'm just letting you know that, like, you know, maybe you see it and you're like, oh, that's an important person. That's not bribery. You know, you just might want to give me a better.
There's a little bit of an ethics questionable issue there.
Yeah, and just like real life ethics, the people at the top don't have to listen to that shit. The people at the bottom do, and we're at the top.
What's your alignment? At the bottom.
No, we're at the top.
What's your alignment?
Chaotic good.
Mine too.
Chaotic.
Okay. Right, just chaotic.
Jesus Christ.
Because that's not bribery. I didn't say, look at my badge.
Who are you, Damien?
Listen, I want to set the ground rules. I just want to know, like, maybe I only have 50 gold, but then I, like, you know, put that on the table. Like, you know how you put your phone on the table? Like, you put your badge on the table and, like, you sit down and you're like, listen, I only got 50 gold. Like, what's the best meal I can get 50 gold? Maybe they give you a discount. I didn't ask for a discount. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll see. Maybe you can. Maybe some people will take it. Maybe some won't. It just depends.
They don't have to. That's not, yeah, I didn't say I'm going to beat your ass if you don't give me a better.
No, I just feel like it should be a low. Like there's a Purifiers discount, put the sign up. So I don't waste my time coming in here like I'm going to buy some.
Like a military discount. Like y'all got a Purifier discount?
Yeah, I feel like she has a point.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Well, we'll see.
We just can't run pockets. Or can we if they're dead? Because there's no, is there a crime if no one sees it?
Yes, there is.
Is it evil if no one sees it?
Cannot dishonor the title. And who knows what dishonoring means? Maybe that's something you'll learn as we go.
That's why I'm trying to clarify before I accept the conditions.
We'll see.
You know, Houta shivering on that one.
I'm not going to run pockets. It's fine. I have shrine money that I'm going to take.
Shrine money. That sounds so corrupt.
No.
Oh my god.
They sent me out to do a job. Therefore, you're paying me.
Yeah, I got this shrine money. Wait, what?
I got more money than Eddie R. He got shit.
She's a corrupt Eddie R.
I'm not corrupt.
More money than who?
You sent me out to do a job. It's like when your job sends you, you know, to like whatever. Like Alabama, how they send Nick to Alabama, they got to pay for that shit. I'm on the job. Salary.
All right.
Give me my salary.
So the monk just looks at you. So you're legit asking him that?
No, I didn't say that at all. We're talking amongst ourselves.
Okay. Well, you all receive your Ashae Guard badge. And as you do, the monk Soga, he steps back and he just nods as Lord Oshiro steps forward again. It is an honor to have all of you amongst our ranks. You have served and will serve the nation or the continent of Ashae with your lives, and from this day forward, honor us all. You will be respected amongst the entire continent. Now that you are all properly been named, entitled Purifiers of the Ashae God, we will begin the festivities. Tonight, you shall dine here in my very residence amongst your fellow Purifiers that stand with you in the courtyard. This will be the perfect opportunity to get to know one another, because all of you shall be divvied into separate parties for the time being. So get to know one another, because you are going to be family on the battlefield for a period of time, indefinitely, until told otherwise. I have inspected every single last one of you, and I will be forming the parties that will be your family members from this day forward. So, when I call you or point at you, step forward. And everyone gets in line. And as you all get back in the line, he looks at every single one of you, and he slowly points over at Yome, the shrine maiden.
He stands real tall. He's paying attention now.
You step forward, maiden. You made it your concern with the blacksmith, Roroi Royce. Therefore, you'll be watching over him. You two will be part of the same squad. Both of you step forward.
She puts her hand up and says, "Yes, sir."
Blacksmith, step forward.
Yes, my lord. He
She
steps
smacks
forward.
him. Step up there.
He steps forward.
Both of you from Ina Isle have much to prove. Now, I am making a team of 4. So there'll be 2 more that join your little squad here. And he looks around and he points over at Stella Bogenheim. The gnome from Tirista, Stella Bogenheim, you have something to prove. You shall be joining these 2 as well. Step forward.
Whoop! Sweet. This is kind of the group that I wanted. I gotta talk to you guys later about something.
As you're saying this,
Yome looks over with big eyes like, "What the fuck already?"
Yeah. Roy looks confused.
Oshiro then looks over at the last member for this party. It happens to be the hobgoblin Houta Liu-bei. Houta, step forward. You are the last member of this party. I sense experience in you. You will be the one to make sure that Roroi and Yome here are safe on their travels, for they are far from home, as well as Stella Bogenheim.
An honor, my lord. An honor. He
He
steps
watched
forward,
after.
Oh,
nods stiffly,
oh, great.
and walks over to the group. Stiff.
It's gonna be the boring one.
He looks like a soldier who's on guard.
Stella's facing forward, but her lips curl towards Roroi and Yumi, and she goes, Yome, she goes, I think we're gonna have to sneak off to do the stuff we want to do.
Aye, pay attention to the Lord.
Ew,
speaking.
gross.
As the 4 of you
That tongue is not for boot licking, Rob.
Or is it?
Maybe it is. I don't know what you do with it.
Lord Oshiro.
He can lick this boot.
He looks at the 4 of you. There is discipline that needs to be had here. The 4 of you will be watching each other's backs on the battlefield against the Yaksha and possibly even the Kholdarian soldiers themselves. For now you represent not only Purifiers, but also part of the Alliance. For the Kholdarians are just as evil as the Yaksha themselves, from what I have seen. Now, tonight, during the festivities, will be a time for you to get to know one another. So I would suggest that you do so and become great friends for tomorrow's mission. Some of you may not make it out alive. You'll need to rely on one another. And he goes back down through the line and gets to call out others that are standing there with you to make these other parties. And as he does so, he eventually makes 3 squads. There are 3 squads of 4. So there's enough of you to make 4 or 3 squads of 4. And after he gets all the squads together, he steps back. We shall begin the festivities tonight. Enjoy the last night that you have here in Kizawa for the time being, for it may be your last, and it may be your last delicious, scrumptious meal that you may ever have. While you are enjoying yourselves and getting to know one another, I will be preparing your transportation for all 3 squads that I have formed today will be going their separate ways. You will be given your mission later tonight by Soga himself. But for now, enjoy yourselves. And as he does so, he opens his hand forward to the doors behind him that goes into his residence. You can see some of the guards open the doors, and there are some servants that step out to welcome you all into the dining hall of his mansion, or whatever you want to call it. And as you do so, we will start the festivities. You all now find yourselves in this massive dining hall, and all of you obviously are required to remove your shoes to do so before stepping into the residence. But as you all are escorted to the dining hall, you can see the tables there are split in between different sections so that you may sit with your now designed or designated group of purifiers. So the 4 of you are now sitting at a table, and you can see the other 2 groups. They're not far from you. You're all in the same room, but the festivities have begun. The food is being served. The drinks are being served. And Lord Oshido is nowhere to be seen. Neither is the monk Soga, but there are several of the guards, the samurai standing guard, watching over you to make sure none of you do anything too out of hand.
Wait, you said the Lord's gone, right?
Currently,
Yeah.
yes.
And I'm sitting at my table.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see Houta slouch so low in his seat, and he says something in Goblin like, "Oh, Shada!" And he throws his arm back, scratches his butt, scratches his belly, and then pulls out a pipe with herbs and lights a torch and starts smoking.
Stella's eyebrow raises as she's taking some food.
It's hard to function when you got a Lord breather down my neck, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Are you like 2 different people?
Oh, wait, what are you on about?
Is this like a personality thing?
I think
No.
so, but this looks to be working to our advantage.
Fair.
I like this version.
You want to hear this?
No.
No, not here. Thanks, though.
I got it from Ogatar. Pretty good stuff if you trust model stacks, and I do not trust model stacks.
I don't even trust you.
I find that offensive. He takes another hit,
I don't know you.
and he's just looking off in the distance.
So here's the thing. While we're being honest, can I tell you guys something?
Yeah, sure.
I did lie about Roroi. I've never seen him fight.
Oh, that wasn't hard to see through.
I greatly
Well,
appreciate
I rolled a
it, by the way.
20, so I feel like it was hard to see through. Thank you.
Oh, for him.
Oh, it's kind of a given, child.
Even he looked shocked when you said he killed a Yaksha.
Even the DM was shocked you rolled a 20.
Right.
I greatly appreciate it again.
So
I just
you
really
never
wanted him
fought a
to
Yaksha,
like
huh?
us, to be honest with you.
You never fought a Yaksha?
No.
Oh,
Maybe he has actually. I don't really actually know him that well.
To who?
you're in for a treat. Yaksha demons. Pretty bad on the tongue, I gotta say. Hard on the eyes to look at, too.
On the tongue?
Oh, what?
The only reason I didn't believe you was because I can't believe I'm actually talking about this bitch. But my sister, Mariella, this is what I want to talk to you guys about. I saw her literally blast one of those things in two.
A Yaksha?
Or I don't know, the Ashae, whatever you're talking about. Whatever you claim he killed. My sister.
Yeah, Yaksha.
I hear she's in the Ena Isle. Have you guys heard of her? Mariella?
We have known
Bogenheim.
her. We wouldn't know her, right, Ryan?
Can't say I have.
I mean, that's up to you.
She's
guys.
legend.
Ain't up to me.
Make a
I don't
history
know.
check.
I'll do that.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with Yome is she's not actually from that island, so she hasn't been there that long. So I would say no.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do a history.
17 is pretty good. You have heard the name.
I want to roll just to see. Nope.
You have not heard the name with a history check of 8.
Why would you? Not you. You weren't on the aisle.
Hey, he's gotten around being a piece of shit.
Houta would roll at a disadvantage because he is not
Roll
from
again.
the Utsuna Isle. So roll again at a disadvantage.
All
Houta
right.
Liu-bei.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh my god, he said I know.
The dice
He got
know she's a
17 and
legend.
21. He said I know
fine.
that bitch.
You have heard the name, but that is all you've heard of.
I may have heard the name somewhere. Didn't think much of it. Why?
My father may know her. He's also from Tierster.
Yeah, well, the goal is for people to stop talking about her and start talking about me.
But why?
Do
She's
you-
your sister.
Are you the younger sister?
No! Actually, yes. But it matters not.
You're
Well,
supposed to love your sister.
I'm the youngest of three. One's dead.
Nope.
So there's just her left. She was the middle. I'm with her all the time. I do love her. I protected her. I helped her. And when all these stories are told, all the glamour and the glitz of the lifestyle comes into play, she treats me like another fucking commoner.
Well, you're not a commoner here. I can see you straight eye. You seem strong enough.
I thought so. She wouldn't fucking let just anyone roll with her. She needed me. She acts like she doesn't. And she's still out there acting like she doesn't, but I'm gonna prove something to her. Sooner rather than later, my real accent's coming out.
Don't let it bother you.
Mine
Here,
too, don't worry.
yeah, have a hit of this.
Give it to me.
It's
You're
from
high.
Mogata, of course.
Can
I
I roll
should be fine.
Constitution?
Yes.
And see if there's some good shit or some
Go
trash?
ahead. Go ahead.
You guys should.
That shit is Reggie. You smoking dirt.
Easy now.
Smells dank as shit.
But Stella hasn't smoked in forever, so she.
Easy now. He takes the pipe back. You gotta be careful with this stuff now.
You guys really shouldn't be smoking in here. You know that's kind of rude in front of in the Lord's house like this.
The Lord ain't here.
Well, I thought he was going to be the goody two shoes, and now it's turning out to be you. Ugh.
The Lord is not
I
in this
spoke
room.
up for you. Stop.
Listen,
Don't narc on us.
Roy, the Lord is not in this room, so we shall do what we like.
So we're going to really use that badge for good use, is what I'm hearing. Yome is late to the fucking party, and she tells, what's your girl's? Stella. She tells Stella, oh, shoot, you're not a commoner. You're a purifier.
Yeah. Look at this shit. She pulls out her deep down out of her cardigan, and she pulls out a gold chain that says Bogenheim. They're gonna put some fucking respect on my name. Right here, right now.
You gotta get two knuckle rings on each hand, a Bogenheim. That's what you need.
God.
When I get some more money, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. She moves her plate to the side and starts banging on the table, making it beat. Then she starts representing for that Bogenheim, rest assured that victory is mine. It's not a lie. I'm here to make a name for myself. So it's going down. By sundown, everyone will know me in this town. And when I get my show rolling, I'll become a star. Put the spells away and sing at every single bar. Have my background dancers and singers ready to go. And if you want to travel with me, then baby, just let me know. And she's banging on the table. She's fucking swinging her chain. She's in her element.
It sounded good. I have no idea what kind of music that is, but you just let it flow.
It's the new shit. And when I take my traveling show on the road and show the world that I can kick ass and kick rhymes, the game's gonna change.
I believe you.
She's gonna be looking over the crowd, trying to see what everyone's fucking looking at, and I'm gonna make sure she can't get in.
By the gods. What is the name of this crew gonna be? We had Cat and Co. season 1. I don't know what to call you all.
For the
season 2.
fires. That's what Bri called us earlier. Purifiers.
The Purifiers. So as the four of you are having
No, we're the
conversation-
purest fires.
Hey.
The purest fires.
Oh,
One of
man.
the other purifiers that is sitting at another table looks over at you guys. It's one of the bugbears. Bugbear stands up from his table. He walks over towards your group. Ah, hello, welcome. I am Ugurk. You all are strong, yes?
Yes, we are, apparently. Well met, old Gurk.
Ah, yes, I am from Mazugro.
I come here to smash heads of Yaksha. I couldn't help but overhear that some of you never fight Yaksha before. Is that true?
Oh. Why? No one said they were going to be listening.
You are talk very loudly.
That's not true at all. I did not roll for that.
I fought plenty of Yaksha.
You understand? Yaksha
You
are very dangerous, evil spirits that corrupt all that it comes across. You fight Oni before. You know Oni?
He points over at the ogre that's sitting at the same table that he came from.
The ogre over there. Oni is a corrupted version of an ogre. The Yaksha can be anything corrupted. The goblin over there could have 6 arms, like Goro. No, that's 4 arms, like Goro. With red eyes and fangs. You do not know what Yaksha does to you. It is scary. I hope you are prepared to fight Yaksha, just like Ugruk.
Well,
What's your
It's-
name again?
Ugruk.
It sounds like you just burped.
Do you
Yeah.
have a cousin in Tierster?
I have no family in Tierster.
That's
I
not
am
true. You're definitely Grasha's cousin.
Grasha is an orc, okay? A half orc, mind you.
sir,
Okay.
I must say it's very rude to point. Just putting it out there.
Listen, Ugruk just trying to watch the backs of his now fellow purifiers. We are all same team. Ashae and God, yes? We celebrate tonight.
I lift my drink up to that. He lifts a tankard up because he's not drinking from. Well, actually, he's drinking from a flagon. You know, the whole thing.
The bugbear raises his glass as well.
Ah, yes. 2 becoming purifiers together. Oh,
Two purifiers.
The purest fire.
Yeah, Holter's not drinking from a glass or a cup. This is an entire flagon.
Stella's holding her whole plate up.
Well, the
In the toast.
bugbear,
Wait.
Yep.
the bugbear, he toasts or he, drinks with all of you. And as you all begin to drink from your glasses, flasks, whatever you have, the door is open and you hear one of the guards go, "The Lord has stepped in. All pay attention."
Oh, damn. He's spilling some of the beer. He's wiping his mouth. He puts the flagon down and he stands up stiffly.
As he does so, Lord
Your pipe.
he's gonna make a roll.
He's kind of putting it away,
Make
tapping
me
the herbs out of it.
make me a sleight of hand check.
All right.
Oh no!
Oh,
That's a 1 that you just rolled. That's a 1.
You know that shit stink.
Yes, it
Your
does.
room stink, bro.
As this happens, Lord Ishido, he steps in, and as he does so, he makes way to the chair that oversees the entire room. And as he sits down to his chair, he looks over at all of you, and he just begins to sniff, and he smells the stench. Who dares smoke in my residence?
Stella stuffing more garlic cloves in her mouth, trying to mask
It
the smell.
is a vile smell, and I do not appreciate it. And he looks over, and he can see Houta struggling to hide
yo.
the pipe with his roll of 1. And Osho just stares at Houta Liu-bei. And he just narrows his eyes at you, Houta. He looks disappointed because he thought you were the soldier that you acted to be. And he just looks at you and he sighs. Put the pipe away, Houta.
Oh, my apologies, my lord. He drops to one knee, head down.
Ugh.
I know.
My apologies.
I like the other personality better.
Well, we know who you are now.
Boat
Do
liquor.
not allow me to find you smoking that pipe in my home ever again. Do you understand, Houta Liu-bei?
Yes, my lord. I just did not know the rules of such devices. Apologies. Pardons. Pardons.
May that be a lesson to the rest of you. Now, with that being said, I hope you all have enjoyed the feast and are getting to know one another. Your missions have been provided to me by Soga himself. Your transportation has been prepared, and you shall be setting out this very night after you finish your meal. However, I am here to inform you of your missions. As I mentioned before, you're all going to be sent away in different directions. So I hope you all have gotten to know the other squads. But first up, your squad, Houta Liu-bei, you all will be going to the northwest towards a small village by the name of Tano, along the Shikuzen Peaks mountains. We had sent a group of purifiers there a few weeks ago, and we have not heard back from them. It is said that the Yaksha have been causing issues there in Tano, and the residents there are in need of aid, but the purifiers we have sent have not responded. You are to travel to Tano village and aid the purifiers that were sent and investigate on what is happening there. And afterwards, you will report to Kaori Shrine to the east of Tano, near Narono Lake. You are not to report back to the shrine, however, until you have aided the purifiers there in destroying the Yaksha in the vicinity.
Yes, my lord.
You understand? The people in villages there, Tano, are in need of aid and your protection. We cannot send soldiers to every village because our manpower is low due to the current war. So you are their only protection. Do you understand?
Yes, my lord.
Understood.
Very good. You will be leaving tonight in the next hour. Your wagon will be led by an orc by the name of Zodi. She comes from Mazugro, and she is an imperial soldier from Mazugro herself. It is a one-way road, a one-way ticket. She is to transport you and return. Once you are transported, you are to find your own way back to Kaori Shrine. You have that understanding. Zodi will not be there to take you around as if she was your chauffeur. She is leaving you there at Natano and leaving you there to fend amongst yourselves. And then he continues to talk to the other groups to give them their missions. You can hear that they're all also going to separate areas of Shimada. And as he does so, he just lets out a sigh and he shakes his head and he stands up. This will be the last time you see me for the evening. I wish you all good luck on your missions, and I pray to the Omnikami that you come back safely. He begins to step out. And do not pull that pipe out again in my domain, Houta Liu-bei.
He twitched. Yes, my lord. As you say.
With that, he steps out of the room, leaving you all one last hour to finish your meals before you begin to travel to the village of Tano.
Houta exhales. Wow. He said within the hour, huh? Man, I ain't got enough time to go find a woman to warm the sheets, you know?
No.
Yeah, you don't want to shower after rest?
I got a question. Like, why did they decide to make you the leader? Why did he talk to you?
Because he thought he was a good soldier that could set a good example, but he's just like the rest of us.
I don't know if I resent that or not.
I told you that was rude to pull a pipe out like that.
I didn't see any rules written. Did you?
And why'd you try to hide it?
I was in the presence of a lord.
Do you like getting caught? Is that why you did it?
For the thrill of it.
I'm just gonna go for my drink over there. You go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Do what you want. He lifts up a flag and walks over to walks over somewhere to stand under something.
Roy's tinkering with his gauntlets again.
What are you doing?
I'm working on my armor. Well, part of my armor. I still haven't found the right materials for the base of it yet, but I'm working on these gauntlets.
I don't mean to be rude, but you work on like a lot of armor and a lot of weapons. It just seems like you should know how to fix that.
I mean, they're not broken. I'm improving.
How long does that take?
I mean, it's a trial. They're something new, something I'm going to create. I'm going to create a great set of armor, that give it that Royce stamp of approval, the royal treatment, as you will.
I really hope you do, because I did lie for you. So I really hope you're not also bad at armor stuff.
Yeah, because mine is kind of old and beat up from traveling with my sister. She lifts up her cardigan parka thing, and there's some
just like torn to shit. Oh God!
I'm not flashing you.
You
At
haven't.
least not on the first date. She has some studded leather armor under there that's kind of worn.
You haven't heard of my shop, the Roroi Royce?
No, that sounds like it's something for rich people.
It does.
Because I make top quality armor.
Oh, well, now that we're practically family, that should come with a discount.
Jeez. Damien, is that you?
So, Damien
Royce
will
stay
have...
silent on that one.
You can think about it. She continues to eat. For her size, she can put away some fucking food. She loves to snack and eat. So she just said that like it's nothing. I'll let you think about it, and goes back to putting more on her plate, especially since it's free. For them to say this may be our last meal, they could have let us pick it.
Well, how about this? You do some songs for me, because since my father's not here to sing songs, because he's a bard too. And I'm
gonna make ads for you for Roroi Royce. Should make them radio ads with a jingle.
Oh shit.
We should make that. We should make that like a in the middle of our podcast. It's like a fake ad for Roroi Royce.
Oh God.
I'm liking this idea.
We'll just record it, insert the little jingle like when we go to take a break or something.
Well, I gotta see the quality of your work. I don't lie in my rhymes. So if it's trash, I'm not gonna like hype it up, Although the stuff you have on looks really well made. So I'm not throwing shade, man. Just saying, you gotta show me some more of your stuff,
That's a deal.
Sweet. Are you gonna eat that?
You go ahead. It's not really it's not fish. I enjoy
Thank
fish.
you. She reaches
Not
over and
fish?
takes the entire plate.
Hota's gonna swagger back to the table.
Welcome back. You done with your rehab program? I'm fucking with you.
He like wipes his nose. He wipes something away. You have no idea what it was.
Oh shit, you're down bad, dude.
Oh my God. And we can make a rehab commercial. Hold on. I got ideas.
What's going on?
If we ever go to
your family.
If we ever go to my neck in the woods, I've got to show you where I used to get my good shit. I hope he's not dead.
Good shit. No, I heard you was a bard. Do you know any songs about Maru Stacks of Murgatar?
I may have been paid to write one in my past, yes.
Good. You should sing that at every guard station possible so we can get him arrested.
Arrested for what?
Maru Stacks is a shit sandwich with feet. So he's taking bribes, more bribes than I have, of course.
Didn't you say that's who gave you your grass?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all. But we know the same people.
I don't know how to listen. Okay.
We know the same people. More or less.
You have the same dealer?
More or less.
Well, he paid me to kind of write a song that was supposed to like intimidate people. Not sure how well it worked.
That sounds like Maru Stacks.
Yeah.
Bastard. Oh, it's whatever. He slouches in the chair again, arm draped over the edge of his chair.
Maybe when you're feeling a little less rowdy, I'll sing it for you.
I'm rowdy.
Put something up your nose, and you came over here looking just a little different, man.
Oh, I'm feeling laid back. I feel good.
When you put stuff up your nose, you don't get laid back. You get energy.
Up my nose. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Mhm.
maybe I misread.
Us.
It's okay. I'm not judging, man. I mean, that rogue life. I've heard some stories.
I'm judging.
You kind of do that a lot. Like, how old are you? Have you had many friends, a boyfriend?
Talking to me or are you talking to...
Yeah, Yome. You seem kind of mean.
Whoa.
Oh, you don't hurt my feelings. We're cut from the same cloth, you and I.
I think shifters are generally like
They're
they
like
age faster, but they don't live as like super long time, right?
They're,
Like they live
they're similar to humans, yeah.
to humans, but they like age up faster. I
yes,
think, right?
correct.
So she's like 20 something.
Yeah, I'm not shy about asking people about their age. I'm fucking 200 something.
Jeez.
I lose
Oh,
track
damn.
sometimes.
You've been alive too long.
Don't do drugs.
My thoughts exactly.
I'm not mean. I'm the middle child and I don't get a lot of attention.
I guess that makes sense.
I think she's
I mean, I
very
think a
nice.
lot of the same stuff that you say, I just keep it to myself because,
Well,
People can't-
normally no one's listening to me, so they don't actually hear what the stuff I say. So maybe that's the problem.
I think
No.
you're very nice, Yome.
Don't make me regret it.
Yeah, you're an interesting sort, like the rest of you.
I don't know about you. I'm sus on you.
You don't like me very much, do you?
I'm just trying to figure out, what you're about. Like if you like getting in trouble or if you try to get praise or
I just have some bad luck, that's all.
you just seem like you're like two different people. I don't get it.
I'm Houta. I can't be anybody else.
I'm watching you.
Back at you.
And
And he looks off. He looks off in the distance.
It's the way you say things. It's
But
weird.
he's laid back.
He's weird.
Jesus.
Stuff.
All right. So as you keep having your conversations, eventually the room, you can see several, or I should say a couple people enter. And there is this orcish woman in Mazugro Imperial armor. She's got this black and gold armor all over her. And she has this long black ponytail and this glaive on her back. She steps towards your table. And if you remember, Oshiro mentioned an orc lady by the name of Zodi would be taking you guys to Tano Village. She looks down at you all. She stands about 5'9". Not as muscular as Grasha, but she is fairly muscular. And she just gives you all the stern look.
You are the group I am taking to Tano. Let us go. It is time.
Oh, it's nice to have a beauty drive us. He sweeps his hair back. And he's hopping.
I don't know if she's feeling it, man. You might want to roll for
You
that.
are not fooling
Show me a roll for
anyone.
that.
Charisma.
Yome's got like her eyes are like thinned and she's looking at you real sus right now.
Roll the persuasion.
Charisma or
Charisma.
persuasion.
Yeah.
Nah.
She looks over at
12.
Houta.
The Lord has mentioned about you, Houta. I heard about your pipe that you smoked in the Lord's
Heard about you.
domain.
Damn, he ain't waste no time going to the back talk cold cat shit.
Oh, word travels quickly.
Like, you know that kiss ass from the yard?
You're
What?
smoking in my
Poser.
goddamn house.
Word does
Motherfucker.
travel quickly. I heard you. I take it you heard about my other impressing deeds.
Your deeds do not impress me, Houta Liu-bei. Now pack your belongings. We are heading to Tano Village to cleanse.
Tough crowd.
Sounds like we're gonna kill a village. Please.
It does sound like it.
This sounded like genocide. I don't know about
Like,
that.
she's gonna drop us off and want nothing to do with us.
She's like, kill everyone in this fucking village. They're all crap. Like, whoa, I didn't sign up for that. Sheesh.
She turns around and begins to walk out, and you can see that other soldier-like individuals are also doing the same to the other groups at the other tables. But Zodi, she leads you all out after you have been well fed and you have your belongings. She leads you back out into the courtyard through the gates where there is a wagon waiting for all of you that is being led by 2 horses. And we will end this episode of Taverns and Caverns there. Thanks again for listening to another exciting episode of Taverns and Caverns, everyone. If you enjoyed our shenanigans, we ask that you please leave us ratings and reviews on Apple iTunes or any other podcast platform that you use. Also, please be sure to check out the Taverns and Caverns Patreon for exclusive content that you won't want to miss. You can find me on Twitter at HaphazardDM.
Yo, I'm Brad. I play Stella. And you can follow me on Twitter at Blaze_Nancy Bride King or NBK.
I am Robert Jones, and I played Houta Liu-bei. You can find me on YouTube, Trubone, Trubone.
I'm Felicia, and I play Yome. You can find me on Insta or Twitter at daggertribal.
I'm Rodimus, playing Roroi Royce. You can find me on Twitter at Rodimus7901 or at Instagram at Rodimus83.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Those are all of our players and our cast members for Taverns and Caverns Season 2. Until next time, take care.